Hello, I am Lance with Visviva Energy and Vital Air Services. Those are the same company. One just handles the house after it closes and one handles it during construction, so don't allow that to get you confused. I'm here in McKenna Square, which is a Starlight community. We're in a townhome, and the purpose of today's video is just to help orient the builders and the homeowners about exactly what is getting installed in their house and how to take it through the basic troubleshooting measures. All right, so this is the mechanical closet in this house. I want to pull out the major components. This is the air handler. This is a two-zone house. So there is one duct that goes up to supply the top floor system, and there's another duct that runs down to supply the downstairs. You'll see that they each have a damper control system. This is all communicated from the thermostats into a zone control board. This zone control board essentially works with the thermostats to tell the systems what to do. So, and then here's your major power supply that's coming in. It does have a disconnect. If you ever had to reset the system for any reason, you could easily pull this out, simply shut the system off, plug it back in, and it'll completely reset itself. First of all, every unit has a filter inside of it. Okay, it's got the size of the filter. If you ever needed to go pick one up, it tells you exactly what you're going to be doing with that. All right, the second piece of this is your condensate pump. This is your drain line. This needs to be capped. This needs to be not capped. This allows for air to get into the system so it doesn't suck back into the unit. This clear tubing is attached to the condensate pump. It runs the condensate up into the washer box. Some of them may not have the clear tubing. The condensate may just run to the outside, but this clear tubing is essentially to get the water out of here and into the washer box. This piece here is called a fresh air intake. There is a setup inside of the thermostat where this is going to run and open for periods of time throughout the day because the house is really tight, really built well and tight. So we've got to bring fresh air into it, and that's what that piece is there. So this is something that's super important. Every piece of equipment has the model and serial number in it, both the indoor and outdoor unit. Every homeowner themselves needs to go to Lennox.com, put in all of their homeowner information, close dates, all that. They're going to need to put this equipment information in, model serial number. If you do, you will take your component warranty with Lennox from a 5-year warranty to a 10-year warranty. So the first thing homeowners need to do when they close on a house is to go to Lennox.com and register their equipment. All right, we're taking a look at the thermostat that is in this particular home. This is called a Honeywell T6 Pro. You can go online to honeywellhome.com and locate this thermostat. The model numbers are on the back. It'll have every user manual that you could ever imagine. But I want to point out a few quick things. This is a 2-story townhouse, so like I said, there's zones for each floor. It's important that each of these be in the same mode, which is in this case cool mode. So you can't have one running in cool and the other one running in heat mode. Another point in that, there is an automatic feature in there where it'll say, maximum temperature 70, lower temperature 65. If you do that, it'll switch between heat and cold. But when you're in the summer months and it does that, you could actually tell the system to do both simultaneously. So you want to just keep it in one mode. And fan, always keep it in auto. Okay, there's a circulate option, there's an on option. On, you're just literally wasting energy. It's running nonstop. Circulate is a problem because, especially in the summertime, because you have humidity on a coil after a cooling run. When you do circulate, it essentially pushes that humidity back into the house. So very important that you keep it in cool and you keep it in auto. All right, I'm going to walk you just through the menu really quick. These are really intuitive thermostats, but there's a schedule option. There's a screen lock option. I'll get into that in a second because it's a very important one you can get locked out of your thermostat on. Ventilation, don't touch it. We have it pre-programmed for this house. The fresh air vent that I showed you earlier, bringing air into the house, it's on a schedule. That does mean that at times, even when you don't have a heating and cooling call, you're gonna hear the system running. That's bringing the necessary amount of fresh air into the house. We have it set up, so just don't touch it. Wi-Fi, this thermostat in particular, you can connect to the Wi-Fi. There's an app online. The secondary thermostats are not Wi-Fi compatible, but this one is. So if you do have this model in your house, you can get that set up. Obviously brightness, don't worry about anything with recovery. You can change the clock, date, clean the screen, temp scale from Fahrenheit to Celsius. You can reset things. Again, don't do that. Equipment status, device info. You can find all this information on honeywellhome.com as well if you have any additional questions, but that covers the menu. All right, so in that menu screen that I just showed you, every thermostat has a screen, or these thermostats have a screen lock option. In order to unlock it, you'll see on the back of this thermostat there's a 4-digit code. In this case, it is 1843. So universally, the way Honeywell creates the code to unlock it is you would take 1843 and you would add 1234 to that. So the code to unlock this thermostat then is 3077. All right, so we're outside. I just want to explain a couple things about a heat pump. This is both your heating and cooling system, so it's essentially going to run year-round. One thing about a heat pump is that when it gets cold outside, it has what's called a defrost cycle. Don't be alarmed. It's completely normal. Essentially what it does is it has a reversing valve that sends the refrigerant in different directions so that it can heat up the outdoor coil to stop it from freezing. It'll make a loud bang. There will be a little bit of a screech, and then there will be a little bit of a hiss, okay? So don't be alarmed. That's a heat pump, and it's completely normal. I wanted to show you this just because it's the other label that you're gonna need in order to register the equipment. This has got your model number. This has got your serial number. When you go to lennox.com and register for your extended warranty, you'll need this information. One of the primary reasons that systems stop working is the power supplies get shut off for whatever reason. In your panel, you will see furnace and air conditioner. The furnace controls the unit on the inside, and the air conditioner controls the unit on the outside. So before you call the office and have a tech come out, always check the power supplies to make sure that they're in the engaged position and not in the off position. So we're talking about a number of the reasons why the systems may be failing. The first one, and this happens a lot during construction and right after close, is a dirty filter. Okay, when we get calls for ice on a line set, water in a drain pan, the first thing that comes to mind is that the filter is impacted. Okay, if it gets impacted, the airflow can't get across, the coil gets too cold, it starts to create ice, and the system will malfunction. There is a float switch in here. Once the moisture starts to hit into the drain pan, it will eventually lift up and cut the system off so that you don't create too much water damage in the house. Another reason that the systems stop working is all of these condensate pumps are required to be tied into a GFI. The GFI is a switch that's meant to just create more safety in a home. If this GFI is tripped, and this GFI circuit is tied to multiple places in the house, so it may not just be this GFI, if there is not a light on this condensate pump, or there's no power supply to it at all, that also will make the system stop working. Another reason that systems tend to stop working is you get a lot of people in a house, and this is primarily for the builders, but you'll have guys coming in and one's trying to run the heat on one floor, one's trying to run the cool on another floor. If that happens, the zone board upstairs will get confused and it can essentially just not run at all. In order to fix that, you put both thermostats into the same mode, put the fans back into the auto, and then when you come into the panel, you'll shut the furnace off and allow the system to just go through a complete reset. So if you understand, if you've got no AC, you check the power, you make sure the thermostats are in the same modes, you check the GFI to the condensate pump, and you make sure that the filter is not impacted. All right, so I hope this helped you gain a better understanding of exactly what your mechanical system is and how to operate it. If you ever run into a situation where going through these self-diagnosis, you're not able to do the repairs or you need additional assistance, first start with your Starlight warranty representative. They'll create a work order and essentially filter it down to us. If it is an after-hours call and there's an emergency, no heat, cool, or you see water in the pan, the number to reach us at is 770-954-8833. Thank you for your time.